are a nest leader who has led teams, managed chaos, sacrificed your time, health, and weekends for a system that still keeps you limited. But what if you could use your nesting expertise to finally work for yourself with freedom, higher income, and impact on your terms? In this video, I'm answering the question, what is a nest consultant, from a nest consultant's perspective who has actually done it. If you have reached a career crossroad and you're ready to pivot, but you're not sure where to start, this is your first step. But first, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Why are you this person? Hit that subscribe button as well as like this video so that other amazing nest leaders like you will get notified that there's amazing stuff over here. And as if that's not enough, hit that notification bell so that you're notified each time I publish a new video on how to regain control of your time, impact, and income through nest consulting. Before I tell you what is a nest consultant, let me just briefly share with you the story of how I accidentally landed in independent nest consulting. At that stage, I was climbing the corporate ladder rapidly. I've always been this ambitious person, and I was determined to just grow and make it at all costs until one day I looked at my manager at the time and I realized that I did not want to be him. I didn't want to go where he had been, and taking into consideration that I was going to be next in line in terms of his role, and I did not envy him or even want it at all. The reason is because I was losing myself in the job. I had started out passionately in nursing. I literally remember the first few weeks, the first year when I started nursing, I used to wake up excited and happy and just ready to get going. But over the years, that passion just seeped away into something else. So then I decided, you know what? I want to continue nursing, but I want to nurse on my own terms. I want to take all this expertise and experience and all this amazing goodness that I've accumulated over the years and actually just use that to identify and solve problems for people. That's how I ended up looking for my own healthcare providers as clients. The rest is history, and I never looked back since then. If you are that nest leader who has reached a career crossroad, you're burnt out, unstimulated, and you're ready for a change and wondering what is a nest consultant. In simple terms, a nest consultant is an experienced nurse who uses their nursing expertise in order to identify, problem solve, and propose as well as develop solutions for healthcare providers. What does a nurse consultant do? What a nurse consultant actually does depends on their area of expertise. I always tell experienced nurses every day, focus on your current expertise, what you're already good at, and the things that you've already achieved, because that is the quickest way to pivot into nurse consulting. For example, if you're an expert in long term care, you've probably been a director of nursing, a nurse manager, a charge nurse, and you have so much expertise in accreditation and compliance, you can then come in as a nurse consultant to assist homes who are currently in non-compliance with their accreditation. That way you can help them regain their compliance standing or reverse their sanctions. Another client that you'd probably work with are healthcare providers who are heading towards their accreditation, and they need your expertise in order for you to come in, identify their problems, their weaknesses, and then propose solutions for them so that they can pass their accreditation. Second example of what a nurse consultant actually does is leadership and staff development. I'm personally passionate about this one because ever since I started my nursing career, even back in high school, where whatever setting I've ever been, I tend to be the default leader or the official leader in that setting. And I always tell this, like funny to me story of how I was the girls soccer captain in my high school soccer team, even though I did not know how to kick a ball. And I remember asking the coach, why am I being elected as the captain? And he said to me, because you are the leader. We need your leadership in order for us to grow and to take us to the next level. I was like, okay. So, if your passion and your strength is in leadership and staff development, it is in such high demand right now in healthcare because many nurses are leaving, experienced nurse leaders like you are burning out, they're unstimulated, they've lost their passion, and post-pandemic, many experienced nurses actually retired or resigned from nursing. As a result, you find healthcare providers with low engagement scores, high risk facilities, high patient incident ratios happening. You find high staff turnover rates, low retention because the leadership systems are weak. So if your strength is in leadership, you will then come in to this healthcare facility or to this company as a nurse leader and identify where that weakness is and work with their leadership in order to strengthen their systems and strengthen their teams and help restore their reputation or help increase staff engagement and help lower staff turnover rates or help increase staff retention rates. This is such a fulfilling part of nurse consulting because the results are very evident. Strong leadership equals to good patient care, even on the floor. And I think that strong leadership is going to be the answer to the nursing crisis that many healthcare providers and many healthcare companies are experiencing right now. A third example of what nurse consultants actually do is policy writing for long-term or short care facilities. This requires a lot of expertise on your part, and you need to have the knowledge of what the right protocol or procedure for a thing is. We call them standard operating procedures, and I think every healthcare facilities has them because staff need to know how to operate either a piece of equipment or how to approach different areas of care when it comes to patient care, administration. So if you have knowledge in policy writing, you can then come to assist facilities in reviewing their policies on an ongoing basis, or you can be that pivotal person when there is a new healthcare facility that is being set up. You can come in to then develop and write up their policies. A quick question for you. What is your area of expertise and what services do you see yourself providing as a nurse consultant? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you're still unsure of how nurse consulting is going to look like for you, drop a question in the comments. And you know what? If you are at that point where you're considering nurse consulting because you're ready to regain control over your own time, have flexibility and the freedom to work with who you want and make an impact as a nurse consultant, then I invite you to apply to work with me. Link to my calendar is in the description and comment section below. What have been the benefits of being a nurse consultant? I would say the biggest benefit has been flexibility and control over my own work schedule. And typically, that's what's involved in being a nurse consultant. You get to determine who you work with and how you work with them. So you have a say in terms of the work that you do. I also think that being a nurse consultant is very impactful and very fulfilling. So whereas in your traditional role, you had to do all these tasks that are involved in your job. As a nurse consultant, you're only specializing on what it is you love doing. Typically, it's your area of strength. If you do it right as a nurse consultant, you should be, operating within your zone of genius and in your area of strength. Another benefit has been the personal freedom that has come with it. I was born in Zimbabwe and I migrated to Australia when I was 19 or 20, somewhere there. But I always had this dream of one day being able to work from anywhere in the world and, be with my mom if I want to, or be with my family, to just have this freedom to work, have an income that is independent of my location. And nurse consulting has enabled me to be able to do that. So that's another benefit. Another key benefit of nurse consulting is the premium compensation. You have full say over how much money you make. Whereas in a traditional job, you have to wait for your 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5% annual increase, which is adjusted by inflation. Whereas as a nest consultant, you get to grow, hone in your skills, become a better expert at what you do, and to charge what it is you think you're worth, And then even if you charge a certain price and a healthcare provider says, this is too much, you can always negotiate. I remember with my first two healthcare provider clients, the first one, I told them my rate and they didn't even, blink an eyelid. They simply said, yes, we need you. And then with the second healthcare provider, we had to negotiate over weeks. But finally, they did come on board because they realized the value that I was bringing to the table. So, compensation, especially if you're someone who desires to have financial independence, given your nursing expertise, then nurse consulting is a very great place for you to start. In my opinion, what makes nurse consulting ideal for experienced nurse leaders? The first thing is the increasing global market share of healthcare consulting in the world because of the increase in aging population, particularly in Western countries, and also the increase in chronic disease conditions. Couple that with the great exodus of experienced nurses from the nursing profession, that just makes nurse consulting ideal for you because the demand is there. And then the second thing is what makes the other thing that makes nurse consulting ideal is because as an experienced nurse leader, you know how to work in autonomy. You do not need someone micromanaging you or telling you what it is you need to do. You produce results, you're effective in what you do without the micromanaging. For me personally, that's the kind of person I am. I produce results on my own time, on my own terms and time without someone else pushing me. And if you are that person where you love the autonomy of having full control of your work schedule and producing results without the drama, the drama of a hostile work environment, then that would make nest consulting ideal for you. Nest consulting is ideal for someone with clinical and leadership insight because a big part of consulting involves leadership. No matter what healthcare company you walk into, that ability to lead and have that insight to build teams up will come in handy in your work, especially when it comes to being recognized as an expert in what you do. If you're ready for more autonomy, control over your impact, and a business model that is aligned with who you are, then what are you waiting for? My calendar is in the description and comments below. Book an appointment with me for a free consultation, and we'll see if you're a good fit to work with me inside the Nest Consultant Blueprint. If you want to know how to start your own nest consulting business, be sure to watch this video next. And before you go, remember to like this video. If you found this video valuable, do me this big, big favor. Like this video before you go. Not only that, also subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every single time I publish a new video about how to help you regain control over your time, income, and impact through independent nest consulting. Bye for now.